Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrapping Scotland with me, Scottish Scrapper. Today I'm going to be scrapping out this Bosch mixing bowl. Now I'm obviously not expecting to get too much out of this, but we will get some stainless, nice big stainless steel bowl here. And I'm hoping to get a nice motor inside here as well. Obviously the mixing of whatever ingredients are inside it requires a motor to turn it, and that's kind of what I'm going to scrap this out for. So we'll scrap it out, see if there's anything additional, see if there's anything else that we can get out of this. But as I say, I don't have high expectations. I'm just expecting really to get the stainless steel and a motor. So first thing we'll do is release the bowl itself. There's a little button on top here. Push that button, we can lift up the mixing arm. A little bit of plastic lid on top. That releases our bowl. Okay, so here's our big magnet. You can see that's not sticking. It's not aluminium. That's stainless steel. Okay. We do have a couple of bits on that one need to clean up. We'll need to clean up and remove the plastics from that. Shouldn't be too difficult, but we'll put that to one side at the moment, and that lets us concentrate on taking the rest of the unit apart. We'll do a quick magnet test on the arm, so that's stainless steel as well as the coil, so that's good. What we need now is we need to start taking out the screws. So have a quick look around the unit. Most of the screws seem to be here, and there's some on the bottom as well. So we'll extend it out. We'll change the bit on our drill, our screwdriver drill, and hopefully we can just start on these if I've got the right size. Right size for that one. It's a good start. A couple of these are a little bit more difficult to get to. I'm sure. Still seem to get the drilling knot. Okay, so all those ones undone. We'll get the ones on the bottom while it's facing us. I've never taken apart one of these before, which is why I'm doing it and videoing it, because I'm sure, you know, if you're out there scrapping, you'll come across similar items. So again, always good to see what's in them, if they're worth taking apart, if they're worth scrapping. So we've taken the screws out the bottom. We can see the coiled up power lead there. Try to put this further out. Okay, it's sticking on something, so I'll just undo the power lead from it. Take that piece out. Nothing else looking down this piece that I can see. Seems to be a little area here, like a little coolant area. So there may be a fan in there somewhere. A little coolant fan. We can easily pull off the stirrer. This little bit of plastic's a little bit more stubborn, so we'll put that in our bowl at the moment and we'll come back to that. Okay, pull off the facing. In fact, the whole bit comes apart here. So there's the facing off, screws are dropping everywhere. Okay, front panel. Okay, that's the dial on the side that determines the speed of the mixing unit itself. And then we've got, as you can see, the motor here. It looks like it's more of a kind of armature motor. Oh, actually we've got a nice piece there. I never spotted that bit. Look at that, nice bit of copper there as well. Okay, so already looking at this, looks pretty good. Okay, not sure on the side here if that's plastic or aluminium, but let's start taking this piece apart. What we'll do is we'll get the wire plugs off. And then that will just free it from the unit. Okay, like so. Okay, so before we get to that, we'll just check the rest of the unit, because obviously this is a big plastic piece. I don't really think there's anything else in here. We'll take the brass plugs off of this piece, and that should allow us to pull the rest of that power cord through. Okay, so we'll try and pull that power cord through now. There we go, nice and easy. Okay, there's our power cord. Stick that with the rest of my power cords, waiting to be stripped. And then there's nothing really else inside this unit, it's just hard plastic. Obviously the button on top, that button is just a release mechanism. It doesn't have any kind of contact, so there's no silver or anything like that to be gained there. There's no fan sitting behind this piece that I can see. So again, nothing really else in here. That's just hard plastic. Okay, so I'm not going to break all that apart. This is absolutely no point to do that. So we'll move that at one side. Okay. That brings us back to our main unit. So we want to get all those screws out and see if we can release this motor. Okay. So it'd be nice if these screws were the same size as the external one. And look at that, not so bad. Oh, well, one doesn't want to come. Neither does that one. Okay, so the ones on the outside circular piece, they were all good. The ones on the inside looks like they need a different size, so let's try and find a size bigger. That was too big. As you can see here, guys, I've got kind of a lot of different screw heads here that I use, so it's just a case of going through, finding the right screw head, and obviously sticking that on the end of the drill and removing the screw. So I would always recommend getting something like this. As you can see, there's so many different types of screws when you're doing scrapping, and you do need the variation that this provides, so I would recommend that you get yourself a nice little set like that. Okay, and you can add them to your drill like this, or you can get a socket piece screwdriver like that, and obviously add them in if you want to manually remove the screw as well. Okay, so just a couple of ways of doing that, but you know, make it as easy for yourself as you possibly can. It's one thing I have found about scrapping. You know, you can make it easy, you can make it difficult. Always prefer to do things as quick as possible, especially making videos now. I know some of my earlier videos are quite long, so I want to kind of get them done, do these videos and do things as quick as we possibly can. Hopefully keep you guys engaged and allow you guys to see what we're doing, maybe learn a thing or two, or you know, if you're watching it and I'm doing something that isn't quite right, then you can learn me a thing or two. Okay, so then we can see the inside mechanism here. As you see, when that turns the cog at the top. Okay, nice little smooth mechanism. So let's just take this apart. So this is all plastic. There's nothing in there other than hard plastics. Let's even tap that out. Nope. Should pop out fairly easy. Let's see if we can coax them out. Little metal ring. Yeah, it doesn't want to come out. That's fine, we don't need them out as long as we can get the rest of the motor out. We don't need to take the plastic out because it's just plastic stuck with plastic. But there we go, we've got them out. So there's that plastic piece. Stick that with the hard plastics. Then releases little ball bearing unit. Okay, so we'll stick that in with our steel. Okay, there's another piece in here that's metal as well. We will bang that through. Not just now, this outer piece is plastic. So we will release that piece. Obviously we want to separate the hard plastics from our metals. So looking at the rest of this unit, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because it would be nice if it was nice and simple, but nothing's ever that simple. It looks like they're kind of rivet pins in there, so that it's not going to be something that we can just pull off, so to speak. So we're going to probably have to cut them off, and I think that would probably be the most efficient method. Just looking around it, just make sure that is really our only option, and I think it is, guys. We can probably cut that piece off and slide that piece out, but I think it's going to be a better option to stick it in the vise, which we have here. And cut these pieces off. Okay, let's see if we can redirect so you can see. Okay. Turn on our grinder. It does need a new blade, so hopefully this one will do the job. Okay, so let's have a look now. We should be able to, I would say just take that bit off, but actually I was probably better cutting that as well, so we can just take it off. So let's do that as well. Okay. Now, could probably get it off. I just smacked it with a hammer because that cut didn't seem very good. I didn't want to go too deep with the cut because I don't want to cut into the commutator on the armature. So let's have a look and see if we can break this off. Use your trusty hammer. Well, what it has done is it released that little ring that was inside this piece. So there we go. Now I don't need to worry about that. And it has broke that piece off. Again, that just goes with our plastics. and then hopefully we can now release this piece. Because what we have done is we have cut through here and taken off the pin that was connecting it. So let's see if it's something I can pull out nice and easy. There's one piece. Put that to one side because I think it's probably aluminium, because it didn't spark when I was taking this side off. Okay, there's another one. And we flattened these ones out, so maybe we're able to now kind of poke them through if we give it a little bit of a bash as well. Looking on the other side, there's a piece that connects that. That's that piece of metal. It's magnetic, so we'll stick that in our shred pile. Okay, just having a look around this guy, seeing the best way to kind of release this out without making too much of a mess. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is try and poke through these pieces. Okay, don't need it. Well, actually, let's just put it properly in the vise. Should make it a little bit easier. Let's see if we can just quickly poke this bit through. Nope, it's not moving. That bit doesn't seem to want to move either. Yeah, not sure that's offering the best way to do it. So let's get some of this plastic off. And get a better look at it. Don't know why they make rivets and stuff, just put a screw on it, for crying out loud. Make it a lot easier. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll get a screwdriver and wedge that in and try and break it through. Okay, try and snip this piece. Okay. Again, I'm sure there's probably a much easier way of doing that and getting that off, but when I can't find an easier way to do it, I revert to the old brute force, I'm afraid. That's how it gets the job gets done. Okay, so the only bit now I can see that's keeping this armature piece in is this top spindle. As you can see here, it's encased by a little bit of plastic. Goes all the way around it. So if we can break that piece off, then we should be able to release that from this plastic unit. So let's give that a bash. Seems like the better option, doesn't it? there we go. That's released our armature. And a nice commutator on the top there. Obviously this is all copper as well. Okay, so that's released that. Just try to see if this is actual copper wire. Sometimes you get deceived. Yeah, I can see where it's broken there, and it's definitely copper. So then we've got this piece to try and release, which doesn't look too easy either. Not sure if we can maybe just bash this one through. There's only one way to find out. Just to stick it on and give it a bash. So the answer to that is no, we cannot, because as you could clearly see there, it wasn't shifting. Okay, so again, just try to figure out the best way of doing this. Don't want to have to unwind the whole thing. Let's just break off the plastic at the bottom. Okay, that's that piece broken off. I don't want to have to unwind it, but it looks like that might be my only real option here. Which is not my preferred option, folks, that's for sure. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, guys. I'm going to have to... It would be nice just to be able to knock all this through. But it doesn't seem to want to come through. Okay, let's have a look. Little screwdriver again, see if we can make a wedge in this or a dent in it. No. So there's no way that's getting knocked through. I don't want to pick each individual piece off, so I think I'm just going to have to unwind this, guys. So I will bring you back once I take all the copper off this reel. One down, one still to go. I know some of you will be shouting, just cut it off. I could do that, but I love this end result of this copper winding after winding it around my hand. So let's get this one off and then we can weigh it and see how much we've got. Okay guys, we are 2 for 2. So here's our couple of spools of copper. Really nice clean copper as well, to be honest. It's lovely copper, as you can see. So really happy with that. As I say, you know, anything that has a motor inside it, you've got the potential that you're going to get a nice bit of copper out of it. I was actually surprised the size of this motor within this mixing bowl, but pleasantly surprised, as you can see. Okay, so we have these two. We also have the armature. I'm not going to scrap out the armature at the moment. If you want to see an armature being scrapped, then check out my other videos. There is a video on my page where I do scrap an armature. So check that out. I'm going to put this with the rest of my armatures at the moment. I've got maybe about 30 of them sitting in a box. And I will spend one afternoon going through them and scrapping them out. But I'm not going to do that today. What I'm going to do, put put that in its box, and I'm going to show you what else we have. So we have the little board here. Not much to write home about on the board. This is a little transistor in it, a little bit of copper wire here. But we do have a nice little heatsink there, a little copper heatsink. And there's a little brass piece here as well. And on the end of that brass piece there is a button. So there is a contact there, as you can see. And on that there is a little tiny piece of silver on that contact on the end of it. You can see it there. Okay, so something there, something a little bit additional, a little bit extra. From the motor itself we have our little brass connectors. Okay, so they'll go in our brass pile. And from the pieces that connect the wire, obviously you've got the little coated brass connectors as well. Yeah. But the key thing is, how much does it weigh? Okay, so how much does our brass weigh? Not our brass, sorry, our copper. Our copper. We're here to find the copper. So let's turn this on. Okay, zeroed out. Stick our first one on. Our second one. So we've got 157.4 grams of copper. Okay, so that's not a bad yield from one little item. Plus we've got our stainless steel. Okay, a little bit of plastic on this. We'll see what that weighs. Zero this out. There's 712 grams of stainless. Give or take a couple of grams off of that, obviously for the plastic. But again, you know, that's a nice little yield. So what I would say, guys, as you know, I'm always looking for the copper and trying to get as much copper out of the electronics as possible. But the key thing here is that, you know, this was absolutely no work at all to take this apart, other than having to obviously unwind the copper from the steel casing, which I have no issue with. It actually took about, I'd say, 7 or 8 minutes to unwind it. Took another couple of minutes to rewind it round my hand. But I'm not on the clock. You know, I have no issue with spending a little bit of time unwinding money, because that's essentially what we're doing here. So I thought that was a great example of a nice simple piece of electronics, really easy to take apart and getting a really nice bit of copper out of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Hope you found it informative. I'm out in the workshop today where it's absolutely freezing. It's probably about 3 degrees out. One of the good things about being out in a workshop when it's 3 degrees is it keeps your Pepsi nice and cold. So it's New Year in a couple of days, guys, so a little toast, Happy New Year to everyone. Hope 2023 brings you health and fortune, and thank you for tuning in to the videos. Please hit that subscribe button, guys, if you're new to the channel. You know, I make a lot of videos. I haven't been doing it long, but you know, I've been putting one up every couple of days so far recently, and you know, I'd like to keep doing that, but really want to build those subscriptions. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to comment down below if there's anything you think I could have done differently or done it better. Always happy to learn new techniques, new ways of working. And if you like the video, hit that like button and please share it among your own communities as well. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. You've been watching Scrapping Scotland. We'll see you on the next teardown. Keep scrapping.